Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks. Okay.
You're welcome. So
Maybe
guys,
again,
that.
Yeah.
Greetings, welcome. And this is the leaders standing, making a statement that we are here for our team, our community, because our community is made up of our family and our friends. And we would have brought you into an environment to help change and transform our lives, to live a higher quality of lifestyle. That's what our ultimate goal and focus has always been. And being in the blockchain space, it gives us the opportunity to capitalize on this industry. So we would have had ups and downs, and we would have made a stand to bring transparency, accountability, and integrity to the business and to our community, because it has been indeed lacking. And we are leaders in this business. From the community perspective, we are not paid from the company. We were never paid from the company. We built this business because we trusted the company's, let me say, business plan and business model that was presented to us. We did our due diligence. It looks good. And that's why we were successfully building this business until different things happen. And we're going to get a breakdown of that shortly. So I've asked one of the leaders to give us a short introduction. We have a presentation by Rory, who is in South Africa, and it's very beautiful. It's detailed. You want to have this information. And again, the focus is to bring clarity to all that is taking place, to bring clarity. That is the ultimate focus here. And if it becomes a possibility that our people can be refunded because promises were made that were not kept, right? I would share a little bit more after, but I want to give Shiraz the opportunity to give us a 3 minutes introduction of his experience, and then we'll go to Rory, and after we may hear from some of the other leaders that is on the call. It's good to see the leaders coming together, and I trust that the rest of leaders will see this as a priority for the community, not for us, but for our people, our family and friends that we would have brought to these projects. So Shiraz, share with us, buddy.
Okay, perfect, Kel. I really, really appreciate you actually hosting this call and putting out there. It takes a real initiative, what you've done for the entire community. I know it's some people right now, it's morning, I know it's afternoon, I know it's evening for listening on this call, but this call is not about naming and shaming. You know, I want to give it like a very balanced, very unbiased point of view, because I could easily said, you know, what has gone wrong? We should dwell on the negativity. What I really want to focus on, I would say, is the positivity. The first thing is that we should be grateful, we should be alive. You know, and the reason why I start with that, it's so easy that we get involved in these opportunities that we take the burden on ourselves. You know, without dwelling into the negative side of it. Okay, people take responsibility way too much, right, for something that they externally cannot control. Externally, things cannot control. And companies do go up and down. You know, this is a life of business. It's like with any relationship. So why would we think that this potential business model, you know, that we were all part of, couldn't have ups and downs? However, I think as leaders and as a community, we weathered the storm, truth be told, right? And some of the messages, some of the communication that I've had with private people, with my particular group chat, has never been, okay, you know, that we should be against this certain individual. The true purpose of this call, I believe anyway, is to unite all of us and to find out the truth. And listening to Rory, having personal conversations with him and Kel and a few other guys, Rory, I believe, is coming for a point that he just wants to find the truth. And I believe that's what all of us want to do, right? And whatever, how ugly the truth is, how good the truth is, whatever it is, how beautiful the truth is, we just want to know the truth. And especially from our experience globally around the world, I'm speaking, you know, for our team, you know, we've had different conversations, we have different expectations. But sometimes in life, like I said, there are external factors that happen that we cannot control. It doesn't matter for the best interests. You could have the best business plan, you can have the best plan in the world, but sometimes we know that fails. Sometimes it goes ups and downs. But however, the real test is, how do you bounce back? When the good is going, we're all making money. That's when the champagne is flowing, good is great, good is fantastic and all the rest of it. The real, sense of leadership, in my humble opinion, is when you hit rock bottom, how do you bounce back? And I believe this nature of this call, and this call is recorded, we're going to have some very interesting conversations, but Rory, I believe, will detail a very, very fully comprehensive plan of how we can bounce back as a community, as leaders. Now, some of you guys may believe in Rory's plan. Some people may be skeptical of Rory's plan. Some people may love what Rory's going to do. That is your choice, and that's your opinion. But at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is find the truth. So if you love it, you'll jump on board. If you don't love it, you will never jump. You'll just back off right now. But that being said, what I'm going to give it back to Rory Kell, because I know Rory has got a really, really, detailed plan. I'll give it to you, mate. Go for it.
All right. Well, thanks very much, guys. Yeah, I think just from my side, I think you guys have hit the nail on the head. And also I want to just say thanks to everybody taking the time here. And I see Sean, my partner in South Africa. And, we've got to a point where, if I go back and I'm just going to, can you guys see my screen here?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, great. So, I think you get to a point in life where you just can't stand and do nothing anymore. Those that have been in the industry for as long as we have, and new people, and Cal, as you said, these are our friends, these are our family, these are the hopes of a lot of people. And, we went, we know we had a rough ride with Hyper Community, Hyper One, and they went on this whole thing with all these different other programs. I didn't participate in most of those. I was just, once we had got to a point. But I think the real challenge here is, Sam launched Stable DAO, Stable Opinion at the end of, I think it was September, October last year. And one of the reasons why I was drawn in, and I'm sure a lot of other leaders, is because Sam came to us as a community and said, I'm going to make you guys whole. I'm going to complete you. I'm going to make it right. And we were specifically out of the hyper damage. And I don't think everybody really understands how it's certainly in the top 10 world ever scam stroke failures that has taken place. And information that we do have and information that's been put together, there needs to be a certain definite explanation given to the community. And when you start tracking the wallets and you start doing forensic audits on this, the message on one side is not what the truth is. And we've been through this with VideoWalk and Live and Beta. And I think a lot of people on this call would say a lot of what we've been told was lies. And this is about us uniting together to get to the truth, because I think together, as Cal said, united, we can be stronger together. And if not anything, we get to the truth so that we can actually bring closure to everything. And for me, it's like losing your child, okay, and not knowing if the child is alive or dead. And I know it sounds very dramatic, but always sitting with hope, or could we get paid, or could this happen, or looking in your back office and looking at this money, which is stated in USDT. Are we going to get paid? Are we not going to get paid? And the fact that we must just accept for face value, somebody comes and says, this is the situation, we just all need to accept it. Well, I don't accept that because of the devastation that has taken place. And we have a lot of questions to ask, and the irony of it is, we went through Beta Live, and then Sam said, no, we must go back to the original plan of Beta, which didn't work in the first place. And there's so much miscommunication that is coming through here. Step chain, there were 287 people. That's $800,000, guys, that no one is justifying. $800,000, 3.3 million raised for VAV. That also brought the collapse of We Are Satoshi, because we were told we were going to get our money back in 48 hours, and that was another lie. And where is that money gone? And if you look at the wallets, we have a good idea of what's taken place there. And, I just said to the guys, Kel, thank you so much for putting this meeting together. And this is very much not about me or us as individuals. This is about a community having to make a decision now. This is about a community saying, you know what, I've had enough. I want to get to the truth. And as part of that truth, if we can get refunded, and I believe now, because we're actually taking the stance, we're starting to see a reaction from VideoWalk. We're starting to see things happening where beforehand there was nothing happening. And I think it's our right to be able to get to the answers. So what we've done is we already have close to 1,300 people that have replied. And what we're trying to do is get 10,000 people committed to get behind what we're trying to do. And why 10,000? Why is that the number? Well, twofold. We know that over 100,000 people participated in Vidilog, and we need a 10% majority to move forward with this class action suit. So we need a 10% to be able to take a serious international stance on what has gone down. And part of that is that the percentage representation, and the other part of it is to put the $15 in so that we can actually follow through from a legal perspective. Now, I've been told, a lot of people said, oh, well, this is just you trying to raise a database and, you know, trying to raise money for yourself. That's completely not true. And I want to make it very clear, those leaders that want to get involved, that we have accountability partners for that money. And how we're going to process it. I don't want to just do it for myself. I want the leaders that have their community, because it's not my money, it's the community's money. And I want us to be able to work together with regards to that. I've created a Telegram website. We've got the website as well. It's there. You can click on Hyperclass Action Lawsuit. You can go there now. And it's ready to move forward once we have decided what we as a community and leaders wanted in that. And the main thing right now is to us to get behind and just say, right, we are going to move forward together. So I did a little small comparison here. But basically my thing is to say, it really breaks my heart and it makes me cross mad, angry, all over the above, where people have taken their hard-earned money, and it's even as little people, it's a huge amount of money. And our minimum wage in our country is $232 a month. So just put this in perspective, that's 10%, more than 10% that somebody saved to be able to put just, you know, $25 into the Vidilog program. And now they're just expected to lose all that money. So for me, it's really championing for our people in our country, but also for our people around the world. Can you see can you see the full screen? Because I've got videos going down over it, but can you see the complete calendar at the moment? Can't hear you.
Yeah, it looks like we can see up to 22nd of October.
The date's on top and it ends with 22nd of October.
Okay, great. So what I put together is a basic, this is a very basic sort of overview, and this is what I want to discuss with all the leaders. So, you know, in the UX call that we had with Sam, he said that he was going to get back to us by Friday, within a week, of what this refund plan is going to look like. My feeling, and I've discussed this with Sean and other leaders, is now's the time for the leaders to make a decision of what they want to do for their community. Are they going to walk away? And that's fine. Everybody has the right to do that. Or are they going to give their community the chance to get to the truth and uniting us so we can make sure we can protect ourselves going forward? And what I wanted to do was suggest that we have leaders and community calls next week. I'm happy to make myself available for that. And then by the end of the month, by the 1st of October, can we reach 10,000 people? I know, Doctor, you've got over 3,000 people, you know, in your side. We've got people around the world. If we can get to 10,000 people to unite to get to the truth, then it makes sense for us to launch the website. It makes sense for us to then pursue the legal case. And we do that with purpose and with the funds to be able to do it. Because trust me, when you go into something like this, you cannot do it without having the proper resources. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. And particularly with the way that we want to move forward. So the idea is the next 2 weeks, we work out from the leaders and the community, are they committed, or are we all just walking away and taking our losses? And that's fine. If the community, if we only get a support of 5,000 people, which is less than 5%, then people have spoken. They don't want to get to the truth, and that's fine. But at least I know that we as leaders have given our people the opportunity to do that. But if we do come together and we do want to have a chance of getting our money back, and we do want to have a chance to get to the truth, now's the time for us to unite and get those answers. And I believe $15 is a very fair fee, because remember, even if you got hurt on 3 platforms, it's $15 across the board for the claims that we're going after, because we're going after all of it to get to the truth on all of these matters that we've been left behind on. So if we know that we've got the support, we go into 2 weeks of collecting the evidence, the fund and the specific people that want to contribute to be part of that case. And then I'm looking at around about the 16th to the 22nd that we will be arriving in Dubai, meeting firsthand to start that process moving forward to execute what needs to be executed. I had a very good conversation on Friday and Saturday with regards to exactly how we're going to handle this. And just very quickly, Sam maintains his innocence. He's stepping down, he's stepping away from everything. He admits some mistakes, but he didn't define what those mistakes were. Sam is also fully supporting to get to the truth. He maintains his innocence, and that's fine. So, if you're a Sam supporter, by getting the legal case done, you're going to free his reputation and you're going to support him. But if there is doubt, or if there's not doubt, if there's been lies, the lies must come out, and this doesn't happen anymore to anybody going forward, because enough damage has been done to our people, and we don't want that happening. A very quick thing, it's been circulated. There was an article on Steemit. Now, I've had a lot of people, I published it, I didn't say anything other than just read some stuff, but this is identical to what took place with the hyperfail. Identical. The same tactic, the same thing that's been sent, and now we're saying that there's hackers involved. I hadn't heard of any hackers up until this article came out. So are we in for more lies or in for more truth? For me, I just think it's we need to run through that. VN, I'm not going to talk much about it. I'll do something separate on it. But guys, please, I just see danger all over the place here. Make your own decisions. But I can't see that going very well if the community is deciding on everything and there's no proper regulation on the money. So, Carl, I think that's it. I think really people need to get the message to see, do they want to participate? We've got two types of calls, the leaders calls, community calls. I want to hit that hard next week. So everybody has the right. We get the message out. And Doctor, okay, if you can reach out to the people in Italian and explain it to them, the Google Sheet, you can choose your language. We've got people in Hindi. We've got everybody affected. And I'm still getting asked questions, guys, like, why is my withdrawal not taking place on VidiLook? So many people don't even know what's going on. And how we all know here, sitting on this call, that money is not going to be paid out at the moment, with the withdrawal. So many people are unaware. This is our one chance to unite and get there. And what I do suggest to everybody is, please keep whatever evidence you got, make records of your back office, take screenshots of your back office, because you're going to need that when it comes to the claiming the money that is due to you and what you believe that you are supposed to be getting. So that's it from me, Kel. I would certainly want to open it up. This initiative is not about me. This is about us as a community, very much so. And so I appreciate all the support. I appreciate everything that everybody is sending to me. But understand, if I don't have the leader support and I don't have the community support, it's not going to go anywhere, guys. And that's the point. Thanks, Carl.
No problem. And thank you very much, Rory. Rory, the YouTube video that you sent me earlier today, about an hour ago, can you post that in the chat? Sure.
Yeah, and I can do that.
The registration, if the registration is fully ready, if that can be posted as well, you can post them in the chat. So guys, I know Rory speaks from a very diplomatic standpoint. I tend to speak a little more down to earth and a little rough. I personally believe everything Sam related should be boycott. It should be boycott. I'm not in WAS, and on one of the first calls, when I mean I'm not in WAS, I do not have an active account in WAS. I have an account there, and I have individuals who were interested, and they would have signed up in WAS, and some use my link. If you ask me if Sam still have influence over WAS, I'll say yes. That is my thoughts, right? VND, over 20,000 plus is already deposited in VND. So it seems as though there are people who just do not care what happens, just to know that they can have a daily reward paid to them. And that is not, it's not right, because in most of the case as it is now, as WAS was, I'm not sure what is the new structure of WAS, but as WAS was before, the funds that paid the leaders were the deposited funds. WAS were not generating a income for its community. It were rotating funds. I don't know if that has changed or will change, but they may blame Sam because of his nonsense that caused its collapse, but it's funds that were generated. For example, if I put 10,000 in WAS, 30% went into the vault, 2% paid the tech team, and 68% paid the community leader. That's how it's designed, right? You're going to get your free WAS token, blah, 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 etc. I'm saying, if Sam is still involved in WAS, boycott WAS. If well, we definitely know Sam is involved. Does anybody know who is Petro? Who the person that is appointed to be the face of VND? I mean, who is this person? So, if you all are continuing, whoever on this call choose to continue with these platforms, you need to have clarity for your team and yourself. And if you are not demanding that, a clarity and transparency and accountability, then you and I, we are just at fault as the owner of the company. We need to make that stand to demand transparency, integrity, clarity, and accountability. How can we continue after all that took place over the last 6 months? And the last 2 months were just totally a disaster. From the disrespect to the obscene language and the swearing and speaking down to a community you that are already hurt, and now you are speaking in such manner to disrespect and deepen the wounds, the hurts that you have put upon this community. It's just not right. We need, and I'll be honest, and I thank the leaders that stood up here, because they are leaders who all they care about is their daily commission. And I can tell you, because I'm in some of the leaders group, and when I read these people's statements, it's actually scary. They are saying, there are leaders that say to you, once I sell you this product, once you buy this product, you are responsible whether the lead is a pencil, whether the lead in the product is not good or not, it's not my concern. You have to do your due diligence and make sure the lead in the pencil good. I'm just telling you the product. And it cannot be like that. Because our family and friends, they will not do due diligence. They will say, yes, Ken, I trust you, so I'm going to come on board. Yes, Worry, I trust you, so I'm going to come on board. Yes, Dr. Anthony, I trust you, so I'll come on board. Sure, and they come on board because of us. We are responsible. Let me say this. We might have failed you at first, but now we here as leaders are making that stand. It is about time. And we are only strong together. I see a different kind of personality in Sam after we start taking these actions. And I don't know if it's fair. I don't know if it's fair. And as Shiva said, we are not here to shame anyone or speak to anyone's credibility or anything like that. That is not our focus. Our ultimate focus is accountability, transparency. And if we can get refunds, then we're going to have a very Merry Christmas, right? So this is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. It is just the beginning. And I want this community to take stance. I know some of us are already looking at new projects, etc. And whether we do that or not, we must be accountable to our community that have been hurt within the last 3 to 6 months. And for some, last 2 years and 3 years. I heard, I can't recall where I heard that information, but someone said they put as much as 5 million into one of the hypers. 5 million.
I've got a guy that sent a message to me, Cal, $8.1 million and got $100 taken out.
Wow.
$100,000, put $8.1 million.
And you know what? And you know what our leaders said to that person? That is poor risk management. Okay, yes, but still, they listen to us. They listen to us. 5 million. There are people who take their last worry, and that's why I wanted to keep reposting that video, because I mean that video, every one of us needs to get that link and listen to that. It's more detailed than what Worry shared this evening. It's more detailed. You go into more depth as to what things is taking place. And I like where he explained the value of $1 in different parts of the world. Because while some of us, it may be easy for us to put 1,000 US and 1,005 and buy packages. But in some cases, even 50 US dollars is very, very difficult for some of our people to purchase a package. And the struggle they put together because why? They believe. And for someone to come on a call and disrespect them after they put their money in and can't get access back from it, it's not right. Something needs to be done. This is the beginning. It's the beginning. I've never seen anything like this done before, and Worry, I must say, I really am grateful for you taking the position that you have taken. Now, I'm a hands-on guy and I could talk, but what Worry has put together, that's not my specialty. But I'm there to support, because why? It's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do for the 200 plus people on this call, for the 20,000 plus people, for the 100,000 plus people that put funds into these projects and end up disappointed. It is the right thing to do. So guys, I'm going to open the floor. We have Sean on the call. Sean is one of our top leaders as well. I don't know if he got my message, but I asked Sean to share a few words with us as well. And we have other leaders who may want to share, and we may have from the community. I did saw 1 or 2 hands. So please, folks, after Sean, you can put back up the hands and we would be happy to hear from you as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Cal. Thanks, Rory. As you said, Rory's very diplomatic. I'm definitely not so diplomatic, and I'll call it like it is. And the bottom line is, guys, I think that what Sam Lee has been probably doing is been running scams like this for years. And after, you know, I think where it hurts the most is that most of us had written off Hyperverse, and due to this man coming back and giving us this sob story, and he's laying his heart out there saying how he wants to make people whole, he lured us back into probably is like a record breaker, you know, like 8 scams in 8 months kind of bullshit, you know. It's not on. And I think, you know, we needed somebody to, a lot of people have been talking about this is not right and this can't continue, and all it really requires is one person to take the lead, which is, you know, has been Rory. And I think we all need to be, you know, whether we move on to other projects, I think it's our right, it's our duty. If we know something is being done wrong, then we have to try and do something about it. I think it is only, it is the right thing to do. So I'm fully in support. And I think we all should be, you know. I think the fact that he's just moved on to VN is just ridiculous. And the fact that people are putting money, I've already had some people message me going, "Hey Sean, I've already put in $50. I'm like, what? Like, what do you like really? It's like, it's ludicrous how people are still buying into his. He comes on for one call, and 2 weeks ago he was swearing at everyone, and then this Friday he's got the sad face, and it's, oh, you know, I'm not right in the head. Yeah, well, we know, you know, we kind of know that. But people are already moving back into this, and I don't think we can stop it. I think we have to just try and decide how we're going to go about doing it. I think, guys, in my mind, there's never any money in these projects. These projects are Ponzi's. So the money that is put in comes out to people who are watching videos, who are building the business. There isn't large amounts of money in my mind that has gone missing. There is money that probably Sam, being at the top of these pyramids, has always made. But I think it's more we need to try and find some way to pull this man's name through the mud and pull him into court and have articles about him, so that it gives people pause the next time this arsehole puts his face to anything. And I think that's the bottom line. I think that's what we have to try and do as much as we can to stop things like this happening. And I think if we don't do something, then we're kind of, if we're complacent, we're just as bad as he is.
We're just an accomplice. And if we don't do something, it's like we're just accepting the crime took place and just moving on. And more people are going to be victims. And that's, I want to, exactly that, just get to the truth. I had a question by Nasco a little bit earlier saying, you spoke praises of Sam Lee 3-4 years ago, and why is it that your tune has changed? Because, when we did our due diligence and research, when Hyper Community was actually launched, this was backed up with factual evidence. It was backed up with registration certificates. It was backed up with international recorded, videos of them talking. It was recorded stuff of him meeting everybody around the world. And these are not things that we made up. These are things that were absolutely factual at the time. He was at the forefront of these whole blockchain aspects. And we worked off the facts that we had at the time. And we spoke his praises because he was the forefront doing a lot of things. But now we see what has actually transpired. He's been working within the law potentially that protects him to keep doing what has been done. And he is, as he said, he's bigger than Binance, which is quite a statement, to make, because he said his impact on the industry is bigger than Binance. And what he means by that is that he's been supplying software to many, many different people that have failed, made money, etc. And he's been taking his fees on that, but that his reach is greater. But there's no doubt in my mind, Sean, that we know from sitting on those council meetings and what's taken place, we know the facts of what's actually gone down. And I think a lot of people here know the facts. And the reason I'm diplomatic, Kel, is because the courts will decide what those facts are.
Right.
One of the reasons Sam is saying, well, come to Dubai and I'll give you the data room, but you must sign an NDA. Well, my advice that I have that's received is that that's the absolute no thing to do, because then you can't take any action once you've looked at it, because now you're under NDA. So that would be stupid number one. And stupid number two is, how do I trust that data in the first place? Because even between Garrett and between Sam, there's been a total dispute on wallets as the basics. Now, this whole big charade of Vivek, who wasn't on Friday's call, going to the data room and shaking hands and signing things, there's a plethora of information that is a completely different story to what's been told to us. So lies, truth, and we have the videotape evidence.
That was a straight out lie. That was a straight out lie.
Exactly.
Those of us who was on that call, we know.
Exactly. So the fact that you can lie blatantly and then scream and shout at the community that it's our fault that these things have failed. Right. When we've checked the blockchain audit, so we know what's happened to that money. And Sean, there's been huge money moving out of there, and it's not just been paid back to the people. That I can guarantee you. And now all of a sudden we have a story that comes out to say hackers took the money. What a load of bloody baloney. Where did this nonsense come from, Sean?
I think Rory, you can see patterns. You can see patterns. It started at the beginning of the year, apologizing for Hyperverse, wanting to do something different. Then VeggieLook fell apart. Then he blamed it wasn't his fault. Then the beta wasn't his fault. Then he put us in charge of sorting it out. Then it didn't work. Then it was our fault. But each time he's gonna sort it out. And I think you can just see the patterns emerge. I just think the man has no ability to tell the truth. I really think he's a sociopathic narcissist. I really do. And I think it's a microcosm of actually how the whole world is run, pretty much. I think we don't have a say on that, but we can damn sure maybe have a say on this. And I think
just do. You and I've had some. Sorry, and I know that we sound like we're hijacking it, but I want to hear a lot from the other leaders, because for me, and Sean has pointed this out, Kel, this is about what the leaders in the community wants to do. It's not about what I want to do. If that makes sense, I cannot state that.
Because the few of us, it makes no sense. We need those numbers, and it's very, very important.
But also, guys, there's also, sorry to interrupt you, Kel. There's also some very basic things that need to be put to bed, guys, and that is things like governance. There needs to be a governance, a record, so that no one can ever come back and go, oh, well, we gave you guys the money's gone missing again. We cannot, if it is going to go this route, there has to be some very stringent things. And that's where some of the leaders have to come into play to say, how are we going to run this as as a group of people. And it's not going to be all that simple, but it needs to be, that's, I think, where we need to sit down with the leaders and say who wants to be part.
But I think it should be very, very simple, Sean, because it's accountability and transparency. And if Sam is claiming his innocence, then even going forward with VEND, with VEND, then there should be no NDA, there should be nothing like that. So bring the transparency with VEND going forward.
But Cal, I mean more from our side. I mean more from, if we're going to run this and we're going to be collecting money from our communities, there needs to be a
lawsuit process. Okay, understood.
There needs to be a process. There needs to be a custody. There needs to be a process of custodianship. There needs to be transparency on that side of things to see where the money's going, where it's being spent.
I'm not collecting this money for me to go and have a Fanzanzi holiday or go and sit on the beach. That's not what it's about. So for me, it's about leaders representing their community initiatives. It's about the community being able to vote what they feel, them having to be able to put their own case forward, because you must understand how the Dubai law works. And again, I'm not going to discuss the strategies on an open platform, because that would be counterproductive of what we're going to do. But I can assure you, this hasn't, I put it this way, I'm not going into this blind. I've done my work, and I have a good source on the ground that I'm working with as well. So I'm very serious about doing this. If the community wants to do this, we're doing it, and we will have accountability, and we will each have an opportunity to say, but ultimately you'll need representatives that consolidate those thinking, and then we can make a decision. Ultimately, you can't have 50,000 people trying to make a decision. It doesn't always work, but certainly transparency on the money, how we handle the money, what we do with the money, what gets spent, etc. Absolutely, I'm all open to that. And again, how we go about what information we get, the data that we're collecting, even on this Google sheet, Kel, I'm not using this for, I need to know that people are committed, you understand? But then we say afterwards, when we finish with it, we just delete the data and it's done. It's email addresses. I've asked no other information, and I'm actually of the cause to set up a, and this is what we can discuss next week, is that the information can go directly to the attorneys, but we have to organize it as well. There's a lot of admin that has to happen in the background to put that information together.
Can Crypto Queen raise back the hand? Crypto Queen, your hand was up. Can you raise it back for us? Okay, thank you.
Hi, hello, hi. Good evening. I'm glad to be on the call. Now, where do I start? I've been in hyper community, hyperverse. I grew a huge team. I through hyperverse. Didn't sign up to Hypernation because I just didn't trust the mask and why they had to wear masks. So I didn't do that. All I did with that was bought the yellow box, and that was it, where I took it. And then was invited to a meeting where Sam Lee came on and encouraged us to believe what he said, that he would fight on our behalf and go to corporate, and that we should hand over our sign up to StableDAO. Yes. And do the KYC, right? So this is my huge concern here. I've encouraged my entire team to sign over their details and do the KYC on StableDAO, okay? So now the man is a narcissist, he's a compulsive liar, we don't know what he's going to do next, and now he's got our personal information. I mean,
the way to protect yourself there. No, that's part of the class action. Okay, so let me also define here, because class action lawsuits can take a very long time on the international case. But trust me, we're not going to be waiting years to get the solutions. And remember, in Dubai, you're guilty till proven innocent. And there's certain things that you do within the legal system to expedite things. So I'm not here to sit 2 years behind the matter. I want to get this matter to rest as quickly as possible. And regarding the data,
go on, sorry. Yeah, because I'm not quite
regarding the data, so regarding the data, as part of the class action suit, should the people want, they can insist on the returning of their data and deletion of their data. with Stable DAO and all programs associated with SAM. So
But how did we know that that information has not already been sold on?
Because of the forensic audit that will go underneath the Stable DAO.
I think the information that's from Hyperverse has already been sold on. I think that's a given.
Hyperverse doesn't concern me, Sean.
But I think Crypto Queen, I think that information will be sold on. Right.
That's what I want to say. Because on Hyperverse, you didn't give any information other than your username and your email address. That's fine. But people have handed over their passport details, driving license, where they live, their mobile number, everything about the individual. This is not on.
Crypto Queen, if you think about it, the people who applied for the golden parachute have even given him their bank details.
Yep.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's dangerous. It's very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable. Exactly right. We just don't know how far this man's going to go with people's information. He needs to be stopped.
I believe he'll probably sell it. I don't think the man has any scruples. I think he will sell it on and not even think twice about it. He's already given our details to other members of the community to utilize as they will. Summerview is one person that all of our details were all handed over to Summerview to contact all of our people. So Summerview is one of the people that were at his square table, and all of our, from what I understand, and I know this for a fact because a number of our people were contacted by her to say, this is who I am. You can, come across and join my team in WAS and so on. So we know the information's already been given out to other people.
Right. So before I go, I'm in a Telegram group called Lawsuit.
Yes.
Right. By somebody who's named Susan. Yes. I don't know who this person is. Well, everybody's in that group. There's about 1,700 people in there. Wants the lawsuit, right? However, if we can, I don't know, somehow get them to trust you, Rory, because you're the one that's bringing it to us, that, you're going to do the right thing and use the money for the right reasons. And that's something, it's definitely going to be happening in regards to the lawsuit. I mean, those people will probably come on your side. But
and I think, sorry to
everyone's
see, and Crypto Queen, you're exactly right. This is where the problem, and this is where we have to put something in place so that it's not about trusting Rory. It's about, that's the whole beauty of blockchain and cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, is for the first time in history, you can trust, the mathematical equation. You take trust out of it. Yeah. So that's why custodianship, Rory, is so important. We have to find a way to make sure that people feel 100% secure, that no one person can get to their money. Because guys, we've seen it many times before. People look good, they smell good, they talk the right language. When money is involved, people become, it changes, it causes problems. So we have to make sure that is key at the top of the list before we ask anybody for money, is make sure that there's a system in place that will protect people's $15.
Yeah.
I see there's a message here. Susan has taken a step back from doing a lawsuit. So it seems like they're not going yet. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, she's not put out a message to say that in the group. So, everybody in that group wants a lawsuit. Sorry?
I wonder if they're referring to the same Susan. That might be something different.
No, the lady in that group is called Susan. I don't know who she is. But
no, but I'm saying the person who texts in the chat, they may not be referring to the same Susan. But I'm in the lawsuit group as well.
I think there's only one lawsuit on Telegram, is that one, and Susan's managing it.
No problem. Okay. Thanks, Crypto Queen.
Okay. So absolutely, I'm full about transparency and I'm full about how we manage the money. Should we have the next question there, Kel?
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think it's Mario.
And everybody, how y'all doing? This is Mario, the hyperdriver. Appreciate you, Cal, Sean, and Rory, and just letting you guys know I'm fully behind you guys on this. It's been a pattern all the way from Hyperverse, Hypernation, Hypercosmos, all of the above, including WAS. I'm not liking any of it, and I'm fully supportive here and just letting everybody know in the community, you need to step up into this, and we need to get together as a whole team, as a whole community, and support Rory on this and everybody else. And like Sean says, keep it under a tight round table. Don't let it get too big, but it's time for this to stop, definitely. And I'm very, very upset about all of this too, because I was very, very loyal to Hyper Nation, Hyperverse, and today I'm very, very upset about it, and I'm behind you guys 100%.
Thank
okay?
You.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Kizzy.
Easy. You can unmute.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
I must say, I'm really happy for the initiative. I'm 100% on board because at this point in time, I was in Hyperverse, haven't received anything. Now VidiLook. And so I'm 100% on board, but at this point in time, I'm a bit lost as to what I need to do at this point in time. So I did not get to.
I think what's Kizzy, what you need to do is, okay, your leader's going to tell you what to do, but right now we have one Google Sheet and one Telegram group. And what you need to do is complete the Google Sheet so we can get to the numbers that we know.
I did that while I'm on the call. I did
Thank
that.
You.
I completed that already. But the thing is, I'm waiting on approval with the WhatsApp. So I'm not sticking at all. I'm not sticking. I'm still waiting on approval from admin. So while I'm on the call, I already completed my form. I give you all the 100% support. Yeah, for the WhatsApp group.
No, it's not a WhatsApp group. It's a Telegram group.
Yeah, the Telegram group. I'm still waiting on approval.
There shouldn't be any approval. So which one did you go to?
Well, I saw as you all sent all the links. I clicked on them, and I think it's a WhatsApp group I saw.
I'm not sure. I'll share the link again, but anybody that's got the link can join without. I'm talking about the Telegram group. The only reason I've chosen Telegram group is because it's can take more people. So I'll put that out there now again, and maybe just try that.
What I will do is pause the let me just adjust the settings. So guys, I'm pausing the chatting for a while, so we can just have the video and the link for the group posted. So Rory can repost the video and the link for the signing up.
I'll do that now.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else, Kizzy?
Well, that's it for now. Thank you so much. I like the initiative, and all I just want is justice for persons, who would have, invested and, didn't get any returns. So whatever it takes for us to get this sorted out and to put a stop, I'm 100% on board.
Thank you for your support. Thank you. I think all the leaders feel exactly the same as well.
Thank you so
guys,
much.
You're welcome, Kizzy. You are here. Let your leaders, your colleagues, just share the message, share the information. When this call is finished, I'm going to post it in the groups that have access to. And we want you all to do the same. We just share any message and bring in the community together to make this start. As Rory said, if we don't have the numbers behind, it makes no sense. Then we can just, all go separate ways, cut all losses, maybe put funds into something else. But my position is, guys, those of us who put in funds into vend and all these different things, you should pause. And if you love Sam, get all the accountability, all the clarity, all the transparency that is necessary for you and your team. Mrs. Bess.
Good afternoon. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I want to thank you, Rory. Thank you, Papa, for everything that you're doing for the community. I want to thank all of you for even taking the time to bring us together. Nandi had asked questions in the chat. Can we maybe take a look at those questions? Because I think it's before we come to this point where we say, let's take legal action.
I see the question.
I'm sorry?
I'm seeing the question. You want me to read it? Let me read it quickly now. Keep your mic.
I can I just wanted to say, so how did we get to the decision that the consensus that we want to take legal action? And I think the questions in there are relevant to what I'm saying, because they ask, questions like,
so I see Nandi's question. It says leaders are not because we're not going to win. So
no. So
that
I want us to concentrate where we. So I have a little concern about us coming together and just venting out. I think the meetings that should be taking place, if people need to vent out and curse and whatever, they can do that. You can do that alone. You can do that together. But it's truly not beneficial for us to come together for 1 hour to just state that this person is this, is not that, is not that. When we come together, I think it will help all of us if we come together as the leaders had come together and decided that we should take legal action. When we come together in a meeting like this, let's have a clear agenda. So these are and I'm alluding to the questions that are asked by Nandi. These are the steps that we think we should take because of this, and this is what we think will be the outcome. So the questions are, what kind of lawsuit do we have? Is it a criminal? Is it the criminal or civil?
So I'm not going to. So just to let you know, I have already had these discussions, Mrs. Bess, and I have been in communications with the ground and the legal side as well. I'm not going to state what lawsuit we're going to put forward or where or which state we're going to do it or how we're going to do it, because that will allow the defense team to prepare themselves accordingly. So we're not going to, and this goes way above just the courts, all right? And I would not be going forward if I didn't have empirical evidence of guilt. You understand? I'm not going to go and spend the time and people's resources if there wasn't a fair chance. Now, even on Friday's call, Sam said he has made mistakes, but one of the fatal things that's happened is certain things have been recorded and said publicly. And this goes over and above things that have taken place at head office, which I can't discuss, but I'm fully aware of what's taken place and what documentation has gone to back that up as well. So this is a lot bigger than just what's been put forward, but I'm not going to open that up onto a public forum because that defeats the objects of what we're trying to achieve. That will be exposed in the right court of law, but I'm not going to tell you whether it's criminal, civil, or class action lawsuit, because there's different mechanisms of defenses and the law works differently in Dubai as well. You just trust that we want to get to the truth, and we have the quickest way to want to get to the truth. I don't want to drag this out. I don't want to spend the next 3 years running after this. I want to get to it as quickly as possible, and there is things that you can do. And right now, Sam Lee cannot leave the country. He's still got 2 judgments against him. And if we're going to fulfill and get the information we need to move quickly. Otherwise, there's a chance that he can leave the country.
So Ms. Bess, let me say this as well. Our focus, as we have repeatedly said, it's not to to shame anyone or anything like that. Yes, there may be persons who may get emotional and their tone of voice they raise, etc. But if you're here from the beginning, you would have realized that Worry would have given details as to what it is we are trying to put in place here, which is to get the community together. Our main focus is to get the community together, to put up the numbers, and hopefully we can have folks contributing $15, 1-5, to what the cause and the process may be. So as Worry said, we cannot go into details with the questions that Nandi is asking. And I understand that as well. But this call is not about arguing and being, hyped or anything like that. It's focused on one main goal, which is to bring the community together. And once we come together, then we can move forward with what it is in play. And that will be released. We are building trust because we are here. We are not trying to, no money is going into our wallets or anything like that. We are not here for that, right? The focus is to bring accountability to this community for the people that took advantage of that. And what we need first to move forward is the community to come together. So I hope that is clear enough. In spite of the tone of voice that you may get coming on the call, we have to accept that because we understand people are frustrated, people are upset, people are hurt. And why we do not, you're not going to hear us allowing that throughout the call. The call is actually, we could have ended the call after Worry speak and the leaders spoke. We could have ended the call, but we allow the community to share. And that is why we are still here.
Yeah. Kel, can I just mention something as well? You got Crypto Pixel here, which is actually Danny DeHeck. Now, Danny DeHeck is one of the reasons that he just, without even consulting us or whatever, goes and reports things out here. He's actually been sitting in the room. Maybe he should come forward and explain what his views are, because he's anti certain things. But the problem is, somebody like this, so why I don't want to discuss any of the cases or whatever, because you've got a guy like him in the room that is probably recording this himself and just going to go now and put this all over the internet. And this is the problem that we have when we have somebody like that in the room, Crypto Pixel, where people come in and then they share on an open platform. And that's why the leaders' calls that we want to do is going to be with obviously people being cleared and password protected, because this is not a place for open discussion of strategy.
Okay. That helps a lot, because some of the leadership actually is not just being able to rally a lot of people and make a lot of money. There are a lot of leaders who may not have even made money at all, but they have a lot of people that have trusted them and they were trying to help. And so the information will be really helpful, so that we have a clear understanding of the action that we're taking. And I know that you indicated that there will be those calls with the community and the leaders, so that we can also have an opportunity to sort of discuss what we're doing.
Absolutely. So that's all going to take place next week. Thanks very much.
Yeah. And Kelvin, I was here even before you.
You're using a different name today, though. But thanks.
I'm sorry?
I think you're using a different name today. I'm not sure. I've seen a different name.
No, I always use the same.
Okay. No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate everything you're doing. And
you're most welcome.
Sometimes, some of the questions and like you're saying, people are hurt. People have lost so much, and some people have lost the very little that they had because they trusted it was going to bring something. And people can get emotional. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But I just want us to move forward. Cry, wipe your tears, and move on.
Indeed. Thanks,
Thank
Mrs.
you.
Beth.
Thank you, sir.
Shiraz, buddy, go ahead.
Hey, Cal. Oh, okay, so what I'll do, I'll get straight to the point because I am conscious of the time. So reading through some of the comments, reading and listen to what you guys are saying. So one thing that's really, really vital, I think it's important, is what you put yourself online. You know, Rory just really picked up Danny DeHeck, who is obviously came on this call, and we don't know what his intentions are. And the reason why I'm just picking him out is there's this telegram of the VidiLook lawsuit. Okay, it was set for a different purpose. Now it's hijacked by him. Now he's left, and so forth. So I think people need to ask themselves, what is the ulterior motive? What is the purpose of having these group chats? And what I believe, this is my personal opinion, okay, is Rory is trying to give consensus. I think go Google this word, ladies and gentlemen. When you go look into this word, you'll find out Rory is not it's going to try and collect your funds and then have a jolly good time, like he rightly said. He's trying to give power to everybody else. So I think if everyone looks up the word consensus, you know, and then they'll realize what this thing's about. Second point, this is the last thing I'll say this to you now, is we can complain, we can excuse my language, bitch, we can do all of that. It's not a problem, but we need to be extra careful in how we communicate to our team. It's a very fragile state. Okay, people are hurt, people are upset, so we need to show a bit of decorum and and politeness, because at the end of the day, and you may feel that way, then call your upline. That's what your upline's there for. You call your upline. Don't call people in your team and have a massive complaining fest. Call your upline. Call, speak to Kel or Rory or whoever, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to get that negativity out of the way so you can have a logical mind when coming to this. So it's these calls, yes, is important. And it's important we vent how we feel, we express how we feel. Emotions are very, very important. But we also have to understand that we speak in existence, right? We also have to understand that whatever we put out there can come into fruition. What we don't want to do is start being negative and being hateful and vindictive and vent, all these nasty words. Rather, okay, we express it to someone else, move on, right? And I believe what Rory and Kel and the nature of the call is to provide solutions. So I am looking at the questions in the Zoom chat, and it's funny that some people are actually putting other opportunities in there, which, anyway, that's quite funny to see. But anyway, Kel and Rory, you did a great job. So I'm gonna end off here now.
Thank you, sir. June, we have one more hand after June, and then we will proceed to close the call.
Kel, thank you for acknowledging my hand and also putting this Zoom together. I really want to extend appreciation to Rory for the groundwork and the grunt work for getting this consensus project together, because, a lot of us were wondering what steps next, how to do it, and how can it be done. But I'm grateful to know that there are so many diverse skill sets within our community, and I'm grateful that you have taken the initiative, with Sean and with Trez and with others to try to get this done. There are folks who have had concern. Yes, there was a talk of lawsuits brought up, but the concern was that it was going to take years and the lawyers was going to take all the money. But as you have shared, that there are ways around that, because one of my concerns is the UAE protecting Sam Lee. But I'm grateful that you have made the connections and you've gone behind the scenes. I even mentioned, perhaps contacting a white hat to try to, hack his information and try to get our stuff back. But you're going the legal route, and I'm happy for that. And I would encourage all of us to, even if we tell 2 people about this, that is going to get the word out. And we don't have to try to convince them. Have them watch the video of Truth, Lies, and Videotape and see for themselves all the accounting that has been done. You said if someone fools me once, it's on me. But if they fool me twice, it's on them. But if they fool me twice, it's on me. And we've been fooled multiple times, and we have to take. It's terrible for us to think that as intelligent beings as we are, that we can be duped like this. But we have to recognize that this is a master manipulator. and accept what has been done, but now it's time to take action. And collectively, with one finger, we can't do anything, but if we make a fist, we can pack a punch. So let's pack this punch and let it land where it needs to land. You know, we don't have to have malice or animosity for someone to allow them to be accountable for their actions. This is about accountability. This is not about hating anybody or shaming anybody. It's about holding someone accountable for the damage and the actions that were done. So thanks again for allowing me this time.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Jamil.
Hey, hey, what's good, everyone? Appreciate the opportunity to speak. You know, I've been listening to some of the people that have spoken before me, and one of the things that stood out to me most was what Mrs. Best said, and she almost said it best, but I just want to add to what she said about some of the leaders not receiving any profit or funds themselves, which brings me right on cue to what I really want to ask Rory. You know, in a circus, there's never one performer. Sam might have been pulling the main strings, but what about the others? Usually, when you're trying to get to the head of the snake, you might have to control the body before you get the head. Are the other big leaders that were supporting him in propagating this nonsense going to be brought to accountability as well? Or are we just going after the head of the snake for accountability? Because quite frankly, on some of the other much earlier, you know, I'm not inciting any violence or anything. I just want to make that clear. But some of the other chats previously, other leaders were mentioned about their locations, and so I thought that was quite harsh. But usually, those are the ones that are going to end up confessing in the end, or saying what's true from what's not true. Do you understand? But you know, I wish I could say what I really want to say, but obviously I'm not going to say that. But the truth of the matter is, these other leaders that were around Sam need to be squeezed. They need to be squeezed so that you know,
let me answer that.
The truth comes out.
Okay, let me answer that, Jamil. And again, I've got to be very selective on what I say, because unfortunately, we have Danny DeHick in the house. And hello, Danny. I wish you would reach out to me before you put things out that are not true and all assumptions about me. And, you know, I think you would get a lot of support from the community if you actually did it the right way. But the way that you go about and just plastering us all over the show without actually even engaging with us to get the truth, for me, is not the right way to do it. Jamil, to answer your question, it's not for me to judge those other leaders. They're not formal employees of the business. I can only be accountable for what I know and what I participate. And I think Sean and I were, you know, I took the, you know, being close to that operation, working closely with Conrad and working and finding solutions. You know, these solutions we put forward weren't necessarily implemented the way they should have been. And there was a lot of direction taken. And we were working very closely with Conrad. I don't think any of the leaders intentionally went out to mislead anybody. If you're referring to a couple of other people, yes, they were very supportive of Sam in their case, because they truly believed Sam was doing a lot of good. There's other things that Sam has done that is very good. You know, supporting community, doing things, donations, a whole bunch of other stuff. Maybe those people's view of Sam is shattered now, but I'm here to get justice first from the company and from the people that where the money sits or what's happened, and get to the truth. Those people will make their decisions in time what they want to do, and I believe that the community or team will judge them on their actions of what they want to do. I know a lot of them have helped their community. And that goes, you know, I don't want to mention names, but I know a lot of the people have actually gone and, you know, tried to help them financially and do things. There's a lot of good leaders here. You know, they really care about their communities. But the best way to probably assess that is to see where they stand and what they want to do going forward. And for me, it's about getting to the truth, as Kel said. Get to the truth. Let's get the transparency. Let's get the confirmation so we can get closure or get our funds back and then move forward. And judging by what the article that was published and Sam saying that he wants to quickly work on some solutions, the reason that's happening is because what we know is available to move forward on. He knows that there's a timeline before things can move forward. And that's really it, Jamal. So I'm not going to put any other leader down and hold and say that I'm going to go after them. I'm going after what we decide as a community to do, number one, and as leaders. And I think we need to be very spearheaded and focused here. And let's go after the corporation that has duped so many people for so many long, and also the real information where we've got right now with regards to, the VideoLooks beta live, all the detail, all the legal stuff that's in our favor. That's what we need to, because once you've got the one can open, the other cans will start opening up as well. So we're going to be razor focused here.
So just the last thing, what am I right in saying that from the last Zoom that he was on when he was, trying to appear all formal, it sounded like he's trying to take a step back from everything and slip out the back door.
A step back. Yeah, Jamal,
right,
he has. He's basically saying that he's not doing this anymore. He's put another guy, I think, what's his name, Kel? Roberto? Roberto?
I heard correctly.
Robert or something.
So who? Name right there.
Yeah, I tried to find a recording of the session. But yes, he's put somebody in between, I think.
Petro. Yeah.
Petro, that's it, Petro.
Yeah.
Right,
so he's now basically, I don't know where Vivek is. I get no responses on that. I did get that response from Sam Lee, by the way, on one of our discussion groups saying, we'll get to the truth. So I think there was a Sam in this group as well, Kel. It might even be Sam Lee himself. But, for me, I've got nothing to hide, guys. I've got nothing to hide. I just want to get to the truth. And I'm not going to sit here and not do something. And at least if we cannot collectively get 10% of the people that are affected with VideoLook, then the community has spoken, then move on. But I can at least say that we've, as leaders, given every single person an opportunity to go and get their funds back or to get justice or be able to put their head on their pillow. Do you know how much money has been taken? And I use the word taken literally.
Did you tell us?
Lost.
So maybe I missed that.
I'm not going to say on this forum, but I can tell you what it would certainly go a long way to making people right. And this is not just about VideoLook, and this is not just about VAV. This is about a principle of an abused community that was pulled in here and has been plundered over and over again through lies. And we just want the truth, and the truth must come out. That's it.
Absolutely.
And that's to me.
I appreciate your response, and I appreciate the work you guys are doing. I'm fully behind and supporting of what you guys are doing. And I don't mean to be funny or rude. I'll probably, I'm just you've given me some level of hope, more than my current football team are doing right now that I'm about to watch Match of the Day, from what happened on Saturday. But thank you very much once again, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Shamil. So guys, that's it. Okay.
I see Danny's got his hand up.
Danny hands up, so we're gonna hear from.
Let's give him the floor because it's.
Of course.
Let's give him the floor because let's hear from Danny. I'll be interested because he has. Go for it, Danny.
Danny, you can unmute.
You said that you want to reach out to me and talk to me.
No, Danny, I already replied on one of your comments, and you actually put a thumbs up on it yourself.
I've actually replied to you and given you my contact details and everything, and that was done 3 or 4 days ago.
Where did you send that? If it's on your
the same place that you posted the message.
Danny, I'll be honest, I don't follow your channel all the time. So I have put my email address out there, so you can just email me, but you can happily just put your details in the chat here for everybody, Danny, and I'll take your details.
I'm pretty easy to, I think that's a bit of a cop-out. I'm actually really surprised that you said that because
well, Danny, this isn't about me, so just make your point because you've gone and said things about me publicly, and you've never actually reached out to ask me any questions, and you've made all assumptions about me. So please take the floor now.
Rory, I've been following you. I've been following you.
2019.
If you want to keep talking, you go for it. I thought you wanted me to talk.
Danny, go ahead.
Well, not if Rory's going to keep talking over me.
Go ahead, I'll be listening.
Are you going to keep talking over me, Rory?
Danny,
we had a presentation, we had a discussion. Are you going to share with us a thought or concept? Please feel free.
Well, I think you going after Sam Lee in a legal manner is a waste of everyone's time, and is creating false hope for people. And if you're going to do this as a group, then you can't hide behind you've got a lot of information and you're not going to share it with the community and then come out at the end and go, da-da. And I've just been through a $3.8 million court case with a scammer. And I had a brilliant legal team. So I should have an opinion on how to fight these guys.
Okay. So what are you trying to say? Do you want us to ask you to fight the legal case? What are you saying?
Well, I'm saying you've lost your money. Sam, I don't even believe Sam's got the money.
Again,
so you're going up the wrong.
That's your opinion.
It's not an opinion. It's all over the internet at the moment. If you watch those YouTube videos about pig butchers, and there's always a bigger organization above them. And, like you said, Sam's trapped in Dubai, can't leave. And so is Vivid. He's probably trapped as well. So is Chavez. Roy, I research you, and you might not like what I say, but you've got a history of promoting Ponzi schemes and scams. You lost a lot of money in Hyperverse, and only 3 weeks before you've come out and want to do a lawsuit against Sam, you're now leading and charging the battle when 3 weeks ago you were promoting him. And I don't even think a judge or a court or a legal system would even look at you.
Again, Danny, I respect your opinion, but I've already got legal counsel and I already have people behind it and I've already done the groundwork.
Who is it?
It's not for me. I'm not discussing that with you.
That's the problem, mate. You want to be transparent. You want people to give you.
I will be with the leaders.
Over me again?
Well, you asked me a question, Danny, and I'm answering it. So, Danny, the problem is that you've broken our trust to actually give you information. Okay, you made a lot of claims. The reason why I met up with Keith and Kalpesh was I was on a fact-finding mission in Dubai. Yet you've gone and plastered something completely different, and you've never actually understood the history of what took place the year before. You never understood that I've been in legal discussions with Sam since the year before that, and I have other information. So, you're welcome to your opinion.
I don't believe so.
And I respect.
I don't trust you, Roy. You're not trustworthy. And
so Danny, all right. So let me meet you now. Thanks for your time, guys. Danny, we're not going to go down on that road right now. That is not why we are here. We understand your views, and congratulations on the case that you won, etc. But that is not what we are going to be discussing here. And we would have made a decision to take certain actions, and we're going to work on that as a community that you actually were not a part of. So you are free to your views and your thoughts, but you're not going to impose your views on this community at this point in time, at least not on this call. So thanks for what you would have shared before, but to me, it's also irrelevant. So
yeah, very class act there from Danny. All right, Kel, thank you so much.
Yeah, let me just hear from Team Elite and then we'll close the call.
Hi, thank you guys for allowing me to try and speak. And Rory Case, thank you so much for this platform. It's a pity we allowed Danny to actually come on the call. Danny is poison. He makes a living off poisonous things like this. He will never, ever be able to give any constructive feedback on any situation. The law case he's talking about, it's a lie. He hasn't done anything of that sort. He is one guy who appears naked on videos based in New Zealand and Australia there. He is not a credible figure. That's all he does to kill everything that he finds an opportunity to do that. He lives off the clicks from his YouTube channel. Never, ever bring him on a call like this again. Thank you.
Give team elite. You know what the thing that surprised me about Danny, in spite of all that he has been doing, he has a very small following. I don't know how come, but he has a very, very small YouTube following. Mario, this is the last hand, and then we're gonna close, guys. Make it short for us, Mario. Thanks.
Short and sweet. For Danny, I don't live with my mom, and I am an Uber driver, and I love it. But guys, the bottom line here is that nobody should be afraid to come forward here and help out the community. The whole community needs to come up and lend a hand at this, because it is serious. It's affected everybody all over the world, and we aren't, we aren't Ponzi's or scammers here. We are true leaders, and that we love our community. I definitely love my community, and definitely want to help out. So everybody that knows me that we need to step up to this seriously. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Any last words on you, Rory?
No, I think that's it. I want to thank everybody for coming here, and thank you for giving the platform for everybody to make their decision of what they want to do. And I believe as a community we can unite, and we can actually have a statement back out there, so that future people realize that as a community, we're not going to get abused like this before. We're not going to get scammed over. And if anybody messes with this community, they know they're going to be held accountable going forward. Correct. Because I'm not, and I think we owe that to ourselves. We owe it to our friends. We owe it to our family. We owe it to anybody that came and that has endured this absolute mental torture since Hyper started. And it's time now for us to get the transparency and truth. So thank you, Carl, for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
You're most welcome. And you hit the nail on the head. For me, Rory, coming together as a community, and I said this at the beginning, together we are much stronger, guys. And we would be a force to reckon with, not just against Sam or Danny, or Danny's not a force, but not against anyone that stood up or chose to stand up or take this community, take advantage of this community once we come together. So even though, let's say we come to building up the 10,000 folks, we have that funds, everything, and let's say for some reason the lawsuit don't go in our favor, one thing we would know for sure is that everything that Sam is doing, it will directly be affected in a negative way by the noise that this community choose to make. And as Rory said, people will know not to take advantage or try to abuse us as a people. That is what is most important here. Let me conclude by saying, I love the blockchain space, the potential that it offers. And we are not here to give up. We are here to fight and move forward. So guys, in spite of everything, let us continue to come together. Go back to your family, your friends who you would have shared this project with. Let them know there is a force that is rising and moving in a positive direction to help each and everyone that have been affected negatively by what has been happening over the last, let's say, 3-4 years. That at least that is the time I've been involved with Sam, etc. So guys, this is Kel saying much love, much love, much love. Get that link, watch that YouTube video where we go into more details as to what is taking place. Register to the form, share it, it's in the chat, share it with your teams, share it with your groups, and let's get the message out there and let us rise up. So that's it. Happy Sunday, everyone. Take care. Much love. Much love.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Take care.